All right, you guys, we have a pretty interesting video today, so sit down and buckle up. Before we start this video, I want to say that we have 24 hours left if you want to enter to win the Street Hunter BRZ giveaway. Head over to thehuntingcompany.com to get your entries before it's too late. I'm gonna start this video off by saying I have to be very careful of what I say and how I say it for obvious reasons that I'll soon explain. But I recently, as of 72 hours ago, got reached out to by a large OEM manufacturer about our Street Hunter Mustang. I can't read you what they said, and I can't be too specific about what they said, but I am here to talk about it today because I owe it to you guys of what's going on. I have a letter written from my lawyer team that I'm going to read to you guys. This is to protect myself and the Street Hunter team moving forward. So I'll just start with that. A certain large auto manufacturer sent a threatening letter to us about our Street Hunter Mustang project with a vague letter that my lawyers say is baseless. The manufacturer then went a step further to attempt to take down Street Hunter by working behind the scenes to have the Mustang banned from being displayed at the SEMA show upcoming in the next week. We are disappointed not because we did anything legally incorrect, but because a certain large auto manufacturer is doing what large companies do to smaller companies, which hurts, since we have respected and loved this auto manufacturer for many years. While I could bring the Mustang to the show, as a courtesy to our longtime friends at SEMA, and to not put SEMA in any awkward position, I'm not going to be showing the Mustang at SEMA. We know how many of you are traveling all over the world to see the Street Hunter Mustang, so a scary letter will not stop us from bringing it to Las Vegas. So what does this mean? That's probably a question a lot of you guys are having right now. And as I said earlier, I have to be very careful about what I say and how I say it. But I'm gonna go off the cuff here and speak a little bit to you guys on a one-on-one basis to really try to give you guys a full perspective of what's going on. So essentially, a large auto manufacturer doesn't like and thinks what we are doing is wrong. Although from our research and from what we decided to do, we believe we are in the right to do so. Without getting too deep into it, there's a few other companies out there that seem to be doing something very similar to what we are doing with the Street Hunter Mustang. And there are others that are already making stuff very, very similar that are available for sale right now. Upon our design process of making this car and making all of our changes to it, we didn't see that there was any harm to be had. I understand the power that this manufacturer has and the unlimited money they have to go after whatever small business or entity that they want to. And I've obviously never been in this position before, but right now it feels like we're 10 feet deep, and I'm gonna use everything that I have to navigate this situation as best and as amicably as possible. When it comes to fueling my cars, I like to use race gas. And that's because I want to feed my cars the best nutrients possible. And when it comes to my dogs at home, I follow the same exact recipe, which is why I feed my dogs Sundays for Dogs. Their food is actually healthy for dogs. It's human grade ingredients and you could actually eat it yourself, although I don't recommend you doing that. Usually healthy dog food means preparation, refrigeration, but because Sundays for Dog uses air drying, you can pour their fresh food right out of the bag and still get the same benefits. And here's the thing when it comes to my dogs. I own 3 of them. 2 of them aren't so picky, but one of them is extremely picky and he absolutely loves it and now won't eat anything other than the Sundays for Dogs food. Sundays was founded by a veterinarian because they cared about their dog and they made a solution that is easy for all of us and accessible. Just like with cars, once you upgrade to the stuff that's actually good for your car, it's hard to go back, and the same goes for food. So the next time you guys need dog food, use promo code TJHunt and you can get 50% off your first order. I'm gonna link it down below in the description. Use this to your advantage because trust me, your dogs will absolutely love it. Thank you Sundays for Dogs for sponsoring today's video and taking care of my boys, and hopefully we can get their face on one of those bag. That's something I want to try to make happen. Now let's get back to today's video. I understand where this auto manufacturer is coming from, and over the last 72 hours, I've really been doing everything in my power to really understand their point of view, and I respect that. We're doing what we can with our legal team and their legal team to find a solution. And in their initial letter to us, it was said in some way or another that they are willing to talk with us so we can find a solution. And ultimately, that's what we're trying to work towards. It obviously wasn't my intention or Street Hunter's intention to offend any said auto manufacturer or disrespect them in any way, but more so use our love and inspiration for what that brand has built and become to make something and bring something to market that we know a lot of people would really enjoy to see. And by all of our Instagram that we put out and all that type of stuff, there was an insane amount of positive feedback. We did everything that we could to make this as unique as possible for Street Hunter and really stand behind what we did. But I really want to say that I understand where they're coming from, and I hope there is a solution that can be resolved. You know, from the beginning of buying our Mustang, I was very open about trying to speak to the large auto manufacturer because I know that they were watching our videos just from whatever fiasco we had when the engine had to get replaced in this car. And I knew that to some degree we were on their radar. I just feel there was every opportunity for them to reach out to us on a different level than to go about things the way that they did. Although I understand business is business, legal is legal. I understand their actions in which they took, but there was some communication over Instagram from said large auto manufacturer when we did have our initial problem with the car, and they were like willing to help us fix it, which I thought was super awesome. And I really wish that before we got this far down the line, just days before SEMA, there would have been some sort of reaching out or finding a way to get in contact with us, because I know that they had every opportunity to do that, but they chose not to. Myself personally and Street Hunter have invested more into the R&D of this project than what this car is worth itself. And if this project never sees the light of day, that's gonna hurt us a lot financially, ultimately just gonna suck for something we're so passionate about. I'm really hopeful that there is going to be a solution, but as of this moment right now, I don't know if this project will ever be out there. This project ultimately might be a one of one and might never see the light of day for any other people out there who might want it. Or maybe there's some fixes that can be made that they will allow. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a sandbox, and we need to learn how to play in the sandbox with everybody. And Street Hunter is a small business. We've done very well with the past 4 years, 5 years we've been around, but there's no fighting this said auto manufacturer. It doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong, whoever has more money will always win. And that's just the nature of this game. In the moment that that script was written for me to read to you guys, the car was no longer going to SEMA and will not be allowed to be displayed. In this current moment, there might be hope that it will show up, but I'm not counting on it. I think that I don't even know what I think. We're still 72 hours into this process, and we have reached out to them and we're trying to find a solution, and we respect their wishes and we respect what they believe, but at the same time too, we stand behind what we created and what we believe is to be right for us. So it might be there, it might not be there, but if it doesn't go to the actual SEMA show, I am taking this car to Las Vegas during the week of SEMA. And maybe there's an opportunity where I can find some Las Vegas car meet pages on Instagram, and we can throw the biggest car meet Vegas has seen in a long time. And we could do a show at night. We can go to a big meet location, and I can bring this car out, and you guys can see it yourselves in person and see what the car is all about if we don't have the opportunity. Because as I said, I know there was a lot of people planning to see this car. As we do our reveals every year, there's always a big reveal with hundreds of people standing around during the presentation, and unfortunately this year it looks like we're not going to get that opportunity, which really sucks. But to recap, I just want to say that I understand where they're coming from and I respect where they're coming from, but I felt that I owed it to you guys to tell you what was going on in case this project never sees the light of day or this car never even makes it to the show in general. And it sucks, but ultimately, I'm still so young in my career in the auto world, and I try to take every single thing as a learning lesson. And honestly, as I've had more time to digest all of this, like from frustration to so many different emotions, I'm just gonna wear this one on the chin, and I'm gonna take it as it comes, and I'm gonna take it as humble as I can, and just share the process with you guys. Everything you do in life isn't always a win. There are losses, but the losses are what builds you to be a better character so you can become a better version of yourself and learn how to handle the next situation differently and be better at it the next time. And I think that's what this channel is all represented about. I think that's what Hunt Co is all represented about, and ultimately that's what Street Hunter is represented about. Street Hunter was developed by a group of guys who don't do this but have a passion for it, and we've made many mistakes along the way. And this is definitely a really big learning opportunity, but I just want to say I know that the certain large auto manufacturer is watching this video, and I hope to be in contact with you guys because we are open to finding a solution and trying to honor this as best as we can. And I just want to be open with you guys about that. So stay posted to my YouTube and my Instagram and Street Hunter's Instagram about what happens with this. I'll try to be as active as I can on Instagram of if this car is going to make it or not, but regardless of any of that shit, we are finishing this car. We are building this car. As you can see behind us, we are literally in the process. We're 48 hours away from getting on the road and coming out to Vegas. Regardless if this car goes in the show or not, we're doing the damn thing. We are going to finish this car and see it through, at least for ourselves. If no one else can have this, if no one else can see it, we want to see what we've invested so much money to come to life, at least for ourselves. So, I was planning on hiding this car and revealing it to you guys all at SEMA and not releasing anything about it until that. But fuck it.
And all they wanted to do before they bit the dust was play Battle of the Bands.
What do they all have?
It's a rare blood disease. Stickatodemoniosis.
What's that? I never heard of it.
You're lucky. Because it's hell.